The ember in Zane's palm flared once, bright and defiant, casting a copper glow down the cracked length of his staff. Heat trembled in the air around him. On the far side of the chamber, the phantom wearing Sharma's shape tilted its head, one molten eye narrowing in something like recognition. The air snapped. Lira moved first. She dropped low into a sliding pivot, blaster already firing toward the phantom's legs. The shots cut hot lines through the haze and forced the shadow to shift. In the same breath, Ronan stepped in from the flank, broad-shouldered and unshakable, staff arcing in a tight, precise swing that cracked across the phantom's ribs. Zephyr followed through, palms slashing upward as a razor-edged gust of wind detonated against the shadow's surface with a sound like tearing steel. Zane rose to his feet in the shockwave of it, ember flaring brighter in his hand. The laugh that followed was deep and layered, as though something below the floor had joined in. 3 more? Good. Let me show you what becomes of loyalty. The shadows broke from Sharma like a storm front. One tendril hammered Ronan sideways into the bulkhead, the metal buckling. Another ripped a console from its mount and hurled it across the deck. Lira dove clear just before it exploded in a spray of white-hot fragments. Zephyr slammed another wind cut into the tide, slicing back the darkness. For an instant, the phantom's stolen face showed through, commander's insignia, the familiar scar at the jaw, before the corruption flooded over it again. "Zane!" Zephyr shouted, rattling from the force of the wind. "The core's overloading!" "I know!" Zane snarled, tightening his grip around the fractured staff as the ember guttered and flared. The phantom's ember eye settled on him with terrible precision. "You think you're fighting for her, but you can't even protect your own team." The words hit harder than the heat. Zane felt the pulse of the reactor under the floor, wild, out of rhythm, like a heart trying to tear itself apart. Steam vented in hissing bursts from cracked seams, and the plating along the reactor spine began to glow. Sharma advanced another step. Shadows drifted like smoke from his feet. "They follow you," the phantom whispered, voice blooming directly behind Zane's eyes. "And you will lead them into the dark." Another tendril lashed toward Lira, but Ronan stepped in front of it, staff slamming into solid shadow with a sound like frozen glass cracking. Zephyr braced beside him, wind thrumming visibly in his palms, trying to carve space in the swelling tide. Zane took one step forward. "Ronan!" The big man glanced back, blood tracking down his brow, shoulders squared like he could hold the whole chamber by force of will. "Get them out!" Zane said. "Now!" Ronan's jaw clenched, muscles bunching. "Not without you." Zane didn't blink. "If you stay, we all die here." Behind him, the phantom smiled with something like approval. "Yes, let him stay. Let him burn." The reactor jolted, an iron-hard pulse that made the deck plates jump. Light burst from the core in a hot violet surge and skinned the entire room in white. Zane lowered his staff like planting a standard in a battlefield. "Go!" he roared, clear, commanding, final. For one breath, nothing moved. Then Ronan made the decision. With a guttural shout, he seized Zephyr by the collar and shoved him toward the door. His other arm hooked hard around Lira's waist, dragging her backward even as she fought to turn back, one hand reaching out toward Zane like she might tear the air itself to get to him. "Zane, don't you?" she started. "Lira, you need to trust me. Now go!" The phantom surged. The shadows crashed over the deck in a single tidal front. Heat flared sharp and metallic. Lira's boots scraped against the plating as Ronan yanked her into motion, Zephyr driving open a path with a desperate burst of wind that left jagged scars in the smoke. And Zane held the line.